Emperor Taisho was the leader of Japan during World War I, and he brought Japan into the war on the Allied side. At the request of the British, he began taking German islands in the Pacific.
Japan played a crucial role in World War I by neutralizing German territories in the Pacific. This contributed to two-front war for the Germans. Japan also sent naval aid to Great Britain to assist in operations in the Mediterranean Sea.
This scene shows Japan being left out and the peace talks at the Treaty of Versailles, which ultimately leads to their decision to join the Axis powers in World War II.
The Japanese people looked at Emperor Hirohito as a god, a divine figure whom they often sacrificed themselves on the battlefield for. The Japanese believed that the best thing a person could do was die in the name of the emperor in battle.
Hideki Tojo placing his chips all in represents Japan risking everything to attack Pearl Harbor.
Japan attacked Pearl Harbor to destroy the U.S. Pacific Fleet, strengthening their chance to take over the Pacific. Little did they know that this mistake would inevitably lead to their demise.
A very central aspect to the Japanese World War I strategy were these kamikaze pilots. These men signed on suicidal missions in which their goal was to crash their planes into Allied force battleships. These devastating attacks proved the military ethic of Japan practiced. Your country is valued more than your life. And this is part of the reason why Japan had so much success in the Pacific. Japan was an island nation that lacks resources. They mainly attacked to gain necessary materials in order to succeed as a country. Japan was not justified in attacking the United States. They were not protecting human rights. They were not trying to achieve peace. They were seeking revenge while acting selfishly, and they were not acting in self-defense. On the other hand, the U.S. attacking Japan after Pearl Harbor was justified. Some examples are Japan killing thousands of Americans, destroying 347 U.S. aircrafts and 21 naval vessels, as well as aggressively taking over the Pacific and Eastern Asia.
During World War II, Emperor Hirohito was mostly a figurehead. Most of the military actions Japan did during the war were controlled by Hideki Tojo.
After years of conflict, Germany surrenders to the Allies.
In comparison, Japan during World War II was much more aggressive and violent than it was in World War I. World War I saw Japan conquering some German islands in the Pacific, but nothing too violent. World War II saw Japan attacking the U.S. mainland at Pearl Harbor, killing thousands of Americans. It also saw kamikaze suicide pilots and the fierce protection of Japanese territory at Iwo Jima and Okinawa, killing thousands of Allied troops.
Some things that Japan did similarly within World War I and World War II was using their navy to their advantage and conquering foreign islands in the Pacific.
Japan's military efforts in World War I were very successful. They contributed in many battles and operations which led to the Allied victory. Unfortunately, they did not gain any benefits from the Treaty of Versailles. This led to Japan's decision of opposing the U.S. in World War II, enjoying the Axis powers. What seemed like a total dominance in the Pacific eventually faded into defeat by the Allies. Overall, Emperor Taisho made a smart choice in deciding to fight with the Allies in World War I. Although Japan did not gain much from Versailles, they were still a significant reason for the Allies' win. Hideki Tojo is considered Japan's World War II leader, and although he led a cutthroat military, his efforts came up short. In retrospect, Japan's World War II decisions led to ultimate defeat, devastation, and casualties.